it's Jeffrey with Real Nifty Vintage, and today I'm going to show you how I package and ship items. This is one of the most requested videos I've gotten, so I'm going to go ahead and make it. This is going to be the comprehensive guide, so to speak. I have various items. I'm going to show you how I personally package them. I've got plates, drinking glasses, figurines, larger houseware things, and so there's slightly different techniques that I use for each of those, but I'm going to show you how I do all of that in this video. Alright, so here are the items that I'm going to show you how to package in this video. I'm first going to start out with the plates, and then we're going to move on to the glasses, the figurine, the larger figurine, and then lastly this bun warmer here. And so there's slightly different ways to do all of it, and I'm going to cover all that. So I have my dinner plates out here in front of me, and there are 6 of them identical, and they're about 10 inches wide. So for this, all we're going to need is bubble wrap, paper, and then this box here, which I bought from Walmart, and it is a 14, 14, 14. We're not going to need all of that size, so I'm going to show you how I cut it down, but we do need that width because these are about 10 inches, like I said, wide. So you don't want to really put this in a 12 by 12 by 8, and you could do that. I've got them down here. It's just that you're only going to have like an inch on each side, and that's not safe at all. So we're going to use a 14 by 14 by 14, which gives us a couple inches on each side. So that's what we're looking for, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do that. All right, to start out with, this is the process we're going to be using for the plates. I am doing a combination here of bubble wrap and paper. So I start out the process with a piece of bubble wrap. This is a 12 by 12 square, and it comes in a roll. It's pre-perforated every 12 inches, and I do buy my bubble wrap in a very large quantity of about 300, I think 300 to 350 feet, and that is bought online. So I'll supply some links in the description below of these different things. Now the paper, you might be wondering where to get this. If you have a local newspaper print shop near you, you can go in and sometimes they'll give this to you for free. This is just a smaller roll. It's normally about double the height of this and a lot thicker. But this is a smaller roll of it. It's just blank newsprint. This is called an end roll. And whenever they do a print run, they'll oftentimes end up with leftover paper at the end of the print run, and they'll take it off. They don't find that this is useful to keep going with on the next batch because it's not going to last them very long, and they don't want to mess up their machines and all that. So they'll pull the what's used, what's not used, they'll pull that, and they'll either sell them sometimes or they'll give them away for free. So if they do sell them, pay attention to how much they're charging. I buy mine actually now for about 40 cents per pound. And if I was to buy this same paper at Walmart, it would be closer to $1 a pound. So I still am saving money on that. And like I said, it comes much larger than this and sometimes double, triple the thickness of the roll. So that's the paper that I use. If you don't have that, just use actual printed on newspaper. And because we're doing a piece of bubble wrap in between each thing, you don't have to worry about print transferring to the plates. So that's what we're doing. Like I said, bubble wrap, then the plate, another piece of bubble wrap, paper, another piece of bubble wrap, then we'll put another plate, and we're just going to repeat that process. Bubble wrap, paper, got it, da 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 da. So we'll do that, and then I'll be right back. All right, now you're looking at the finished product, essentially. We have an alternating pattern here of bubble wrap and paper, and we're ending on bubble wrap. And the reason we're starting and ending on bubble wrap is because we're going to be taping this all together so that it's one solid piece. We don't want to have multiple plates in there all bouncing around on each other. So we tape them together so there is no movement between the plates themselves. And then all we're really left with is taking this big hunking thing and packaging it in the middle of the box. And I'll show you that next. All right, so I went ahead and taped up the sides of the plates. I have a piece here, 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 and here. And it goes from about here around to the underside of the plate. And it just keeps all of those contained and so they will not move. So that is done. We're ready to go. Now I also have the box here. This is the 14, 14, 14 that I mentioned that I purchased. I bought this at Walmart. It's about $1.50. Just account for it whenever you're pricing this stuff, just like you would with your bubble wrap and all your other packaging, because it all does cost money. So yeah, I've got my box assembled. I do use this tape gun, and I strongly recommend that you do too. It just saves a lot of time. And not only do I use this, I also use this. This is actually what I used whenever I was taping up the sides. It lets me control how much tape I'm using. It's just like a scenario like this, but it's in the bigger 3-inch roll. And You can also buy this on Amazon. So I'll put links for each of these in the description below, but they are definite time savers and you will be glad that you just buy them and get it done with. It's all in the tools that you use. Next thing we're gonna do is actually take a whole bunch of this paper, crumble it up, and put it down here. And you might be wondering, well, how much paper to use? I generally, for this type of scenario, am gonna go about 3 inches of paper, crushed paper. All right, I have all of my paper in there. It's pretty tight, so there's not gonna be movement between that. And like I said, it's about 3 to 4 inches in height right now. So I'm going to then take my plate bundle here, just one big solid stack of plates. We're gonna put that right in the center, just like that. You'll see there's about 2 inches on each side, actually a little bit more than that. So we just put it right in the center, and the next step is actually to take more paper and compact it on each of these sides. Here's what we have so far. We have the plates in the center of the box, lots of paper below, and then we have paper bordering all sides here. And make sure whenever you put the paper in, you're pushing down and compacting that so that it gets kind of in, under, so that there's actually 2 layers of paper here. It's not just like I rolled up one and laid it on there. So you don't want this paper to compact and for the stuff don't have a chance to scoot around. So yes, you do that, and the next step is actually to put about 3 more inches of this crushed paper right on top. All right, so I have another layer here done, and what I'm left with is about 5 inches here of unused space. So if you want to use more paper, you can waste more material, and perhaps it might even make your package more expensive whenever you go to ship it. But what I like to do is actually cut the box down. I think a lot of people might be afraid of that, but I'm going to show you the real quick, easy way to do it. And that is to make sure that you have 2 things. A knife like this, one of these box cutters, and a ruler, straight edge. So you just need those 2 items. Oh, and a pen. Actually, you don't even need a pen, okay? So what we're going to do is you take the ruler and you put it down in the box. So you decide that that's where you want it to be. You want the finished height to be right there on top there. So you're going to be coming down 5 inches. Wow, gosh, I was good. 5 inches, and use the blade. So I stuck the knife in where the ruler ended on the 1 point. So if you had a pen and you were gonna just draw a line, we'll pretend you don't have a pen and you have a knife instead. Stick the knife in, and then once it's in there, let me switch hands, I'm right-handed. Once it's in there, you just have to draw the blade up, like that, okay? It's not straight, but what is? So that's what you do to all 4 sides, 5 inches. And that's important, make sure you're doing it 5 inches on each side, or whatever your measurements are, so that you don't have a wonky thing. I'm gonna do that at all 4 sides, and then I'll be right back. All right, now all you need is your straight edge, which is right here. Mine has this bit of metal on it. It has this, you can see there, and the metal helps, I think. It's right on the edge. So you'll just line your ruler up right there. Helps whenever the box is about this size or a 12-inch size. If it gets larger, then, well, then you need to do this a couple times. Once on this side of the box, once on this side of the box, and it sort of meets in the middle. But you're gonna line it up right with the 2 lines and then fold it over. So I really do wish I could show you this, but I needed another hand. All right, so there's my line. What I did, I'll just explain it the best I can. I put the ruler here, pushed firmly there, took my hand around the other side of the box, and pushed closer to the ruler here. I didn't put my hand up here and push down. I put my fingers closer to the crease, and then I pushed down firmly, and then it folded right along there. So this is my new fold line, okay? I just have to do that 3 more times. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, so we're practically done. You might see my line right there. I've got one of those on each of the sides here. So all you have to do is fold these flaps in. So we go like that, and then we'll come across to the other side and fold that side in on it, like that. You could also cut the flaps, you could cut the rest of that off if it makes a difference to your final weight. but usually it doesn't at this point. And then you just fold that in and that in. So that's our newly sized box. The cut lines, like I said, don't look pretty, but we do have nice straight edges, and that's what we're after. Nice straight creases here. And even if it wasn't straight, it really doesn't matter. So we have here a 14 by 14 by what looks like at this point 10. So it actually might be 9 because we did cut off 5. So this will come in handy. Okay, so it's 10. So that's good. So now what I like to do is I put these custom cards in. So I need to do that, and then I'll tape up the top, and then this one's good to go. I have the box all taped up now. Generally, whenever I do this with the long flaps and I do it, I put 3 things of tape just so that there's no room for stuff to get under here and lift up these flaps. Traditionally, you'd only have 1 stripe going across the center of it, but there's a longer path here. So it's all ready to go. I just now have to weigh it. So turn on my Accutech. I'll also put a link for this in the description. I'm very pleased with it. And what I will tell you about it is, for especially a box like this, you want to have your digital readout away from the unit itself. A lot of them have the readout right here on the front, but if you have a box that's any bigger than this thing, you will not be able to see the readout. So definitely have it where it's away. All right, so it's 10.5 pounds. So I'm happy that it's not like 10.1, because if that was the case, I might feel the urge to want to cut these flaps off and readjust it. But at this point, I think the weight's pretty set in stone. So 10.5 pounds is the final weight for these plates. So I'm going to go ahead and write that on the box itself along with the dimensions. I forgot to mention, you just need to round up. I don't know why I put 10.5. It's actually 11 pounds. So this is an 11-pound box. You always round up after you get past a pound. So it's an 11-pound box. 14, 14, 10 is the dimension. So that's all we need to know at this point. And then, you know, if you have a lot of packages going out and you're going to forget, just put plates so we know what this is. So we're ready for the next item. All right, I'm going to switch it up and do a real simple thing this time. So we have a little figurine, very simple, light, small, and then we have our box. This is, I think, a 4x4x4. Also, I purchased this on Amazon, and I think it's around 40 cents. It might be about 40, 45 cents per box. And that's a pretty good price, I think. And I buy them in bundles of 100 at a time. I'll put a link in the description for these boxes. Not only do I buy this size, I buy a 7x7x7. And I buy those because I want to send things first class if I can. Obviously, this is going to go first class, and that's only going to save me money. If I didn't invest in boxes, small boxes like this, I'd have to find them. And that's really hard to do whenever you're selling a lot more stuff. So I buy the boxes, I spend a little bit of money, 40 cents, and then I'm able to send it first class. So suddenly I'm saving $2 or $3 that way, rather than sending it in a 7x7x6 box, which is given out free by the USPS. But those are like $7 or $8. So smaller box, save money on my end, especially my end, because I offer free shipping, which is bundled in, but it all cuts into the bottom line. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do that. So again, for this, all we need is bubble wrap and paper. That is basically the 2 things I use for everything. So I just need 1 piece of bubble wrap. I'm going to put this girl face down on angle here, and then roll her up like that. All right, so she is wrapped up in her bubble wrap, and the way she's going to fit in this box is actually diagonally. So that's the strongest point of the box, corner to corner. The least strength in this box is going to be your sides. So even individual glasses I'll ship like this in a box larger than this, but still first class, and they'll go diagonally. And I've shipped at least 50 individual glasses, and I've never had a problem. So this is going to go diagonally. But first we have to add our cushion of paper. All right, so I put our cushion of paper, and really it's pretty much done. I just have to put my card in here, and why I'm not putting more paper on top is because I don't really need it. By the time I put my card in here and these flaps go down, this is not going to be moving. So you just have to think about this sort of stuff. How heavy is the item? Is it going to be wanting to jostle around in there a lot? are all things to consider. So I'm going to just go ahead and put this right on top there. As you can see, it's in place, and then I just fold these flaps down like this. And a quick test you can do to make sure it's actually packaged right: fold the flaps, don't tape it. Can you hear anything? No movement at all, and that's what we're looking for. No movement at all. We know that it's fully protected in this box, being on diagonal like that. And put it on there. It is 4.2 ounces, so that is 5 ounces. Very nice. So we'll write that right on there. 5 ounce angel. So we remember. All right, 2 down. The next item up is this aluminum bun warmer. And as you can tell, it is all metal with a little bit of plastic. There's no glass, so it should be pretty straightforward to package this. Wanted to show you a dry run of how this is going to go in this box. This is a 12 by 12 by 8 box, and I think it's going to fit just wonderfully in here. It is not breakable. It's not very heavy. You know, it's a perfect thing for this type of box. So I'm going to go ahead and put paper on the bottom, the sides, and I'll meet you back. All right, so pro tip: if you are short on space, you can always invert the lid like I've done here. So rather than have it go this way, it'd be sticking up pretty darn close. If we wanted to smash it down into the paper, we could maybe do that, but it's better just to turn it this way. I put a little bit of bubble wrap in there, and now we have lots more room to fill with paper. I also put bubble wrap around this handle so that it doesn't have any issues, because we do have it resting on the lip of this here, but it should all be good. We still have room here for paper fill. So yeah. Yep, just under 3 pounds. Perfect. So 3 pounds, and that is a bun warmer. Write that in the label area so you can hide it. All right, this is the last figurine that I have, and then after this we're gonna do the glasses. I've been saving the most fun thing for last. So this is very similar to the last figurine that we did, but it's just on a bigger scale. We'll be using a bigger box and a little bit more protection on this guy. So let me show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I wrapped this squirrel up in about 5 sheets of bubble wrap. I left it all together right on the roll, then tore it. So I am using a longer sheet of bubble wrap, wrapped it around here, taped it, and this is pretty much good to go. This is the box we're going to be using. This is a shoebox size from USPS. It's priority mail. Okay, so we have our squirrel in the box, and you can see there's lots of room in there. I put about 4 inches worth of crushed paper here. So we're going to stick that right in the center. You'll see we have room on all 4 sides here to backfill with paper. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that from my roll, wrap it around there. Then after that, I'm going to put paper on top of it. Okay, pro tip: I am pulling a whole bunch of paper from the roll. I'm going to tear it, wrap it around the squirrel, then stick it in the box. So what I'm doing is just going down the length of the roll and squeezing it like this, kind of like a smaller rope. And I'll do that with the whole length of it, and then I'll wrap it around the squirrel. There's the final look at what it looks like. So I have a long piece and a tighter rope, crushed paper, wrapped around the midsection here, then taped. Not too worried about the top of the bottom because that's going to have crushed paper. It's going to have crushed paper below and above it, but and it's all confined. It's all taped together, so this piece is not going to be moving once it's in this box. So as you can see, it's a pretty tight fit as it is. So I'm going to push the sides in, and it's going to be very well protected. There he is. A little bit more. Good to go. All right, last step, we have the glasses. So there are 6 glasses, and again, all we're going to need for this as far as packing material is bubble wrap and paper. So I have here 6 pieces of 12 by 12 bubble wrap. That's all we're going to need, and then we'll have the paper that will wrap each glass in as well. So I'm going to show you that process. Okay, so each glass is wrapped in 1 piece of bubble wrap. So what I do is I put the bubble wrap down, put the glass on diagonal, and roll it that way. Tuck the extra bubble wrap into the cup, and then fold the leftover over on itself and tape it down. So there is 1 piece of tape per bubble wrap. And then whenever we wrap it in the paper, there's going to be 1 piece of tape on the outside here on the bottom. So we're really only using 2 pieces of tape per glass, if you're keeping count. But yeah, so what you do is you, after that stage, you pull out, I'll show you how much I use, about that much. Tape it, or tear it, and then you take the glass and you roll it right on through. Tuck the extra into the cup, tape the extra on the bottom, Pretty straightforward. I'll be right back. All right, so there they are. They're just ready to go into the box. Okay, so at the risk of sounding repetitive, I already put paper down at the bottom here. I have these guys all in the center of the box. As you can see, there is lots of space on all 4 sides. This way, we have padding on the bottom, and then we're going to have padding about 3 inches on the top of this by the time we're done. So we are just about ready here. All right, so I have all the paper filled in around the glasses. Like I said, the glasses are in the center of the box. Now, keep in mind with all of these packaging ways that I've showed you, the key to it all, the secret to it all, is to make sure there is material between the item and the edge of the box on all 6 sides. The 4 that you see, the top and the bottom. So that is the main secret. Also, make sure that the items themselves are not going to harm each other. So in the case of the glasses, they are all individually wrapped and then snugly put next to each other. So there is no chance of movement, for one thing, and 2, even a vibration will not cause an issue. There's bubble wrap and paper, so there's no, it's just insulated that way. So it's very good. We have 1 more thing of paper to put on here, about 2 or 3 inches worth, about 3 inches worth of paper here, and we're done. So that is how I package and ship my items. This is just one way out of many. There's a lot of different methods to do the same thing, but it's just a matter of what you prefer to do. So this is the system that I found that uses the least amount of materials, that's the cheapest, that's very secure, that I've had next to 0 breakages with. So that's a very good thing to consider. Also, reminder, every time you get done packaging the item, before you even tape it, close it real good, hold it with both hands, top and bottom, and shake it. If you feel any movement, then you need to go back, open it, and put more padding in. Figure out where that movement is coming from. It's more prone to happening to heavier items than lighter, and that's what you need to watch, just because the heavier the item is, the more chance that item itself is going to move and take your paper and compress it even more if you don't have it compressed enough to begin with. So I'm going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.